Hello, it's me again. I haven't made one of these in so freaking long. It's been like 6 months. Okay, not really, but it feels like it's been a freaking long time. I think the last time you guys heard from me, I was still suffering from my post-traumatic sales disorder. I've moved a couple times since then because my boss kicked me out because I quit. And then I lived at my mom's place for a little bit because I was homeless. Anyway, I didn't really come here to tell you that. I came here to... There was movement on my door. I was afraid it was one of my roommates, which is exactly what I came here to talk about. I'm living in Orem now with 4 lovely roommates. I've been roommate hopping, apartment hopping for a long time now. In the course of just the past 2 years, I've had 30 freaking roommates in just 2 years. I consider myself a professional now. When you move out and when you get roommates, whether you know them or not, you will have the same roommates. There are the same kinds of roommates wherever you go. First of all, you got the couch potatoes, you got the players, you got the McDonald's workaholics, you got the blood raisins, but that requires an ice skate and a ping pong ball. And usually there's some kind of father figure. You got the cave dwellers, don't forget the cave dwellers. And then you've got the thieves. Let's explore this list, shall we? I should clarify that this list that we're going to talk about only applies to guys' apartments. I have no idea what goes on in girls' apartments, and I don't want to. In every single apartment that I've had, except for the one that didn't have a couch, I have had a couch potato. A couch potato is, he has a room, and he's got a bed, and he has a dresser, and he has a pantry, but he doesn't use any of them because he lives on the couch. He sleeps on the couch, he gets dressed on the couch, eats on the couch, and most of all, he veggies away and plays video games and watches TV on the couch. These guys are dangerous. Like, they've got dishes everywhere, and there's food crumbs, pepperoni, and socks wedged in the couch cushions. You will have at least one of those roommates in your lifetime. And then you have the players. You never want to share a room with a player. He always has girls over, but they're always different girls. He's always got them in your room, and they're lounging out on their bed, watching Netflix, and usually making out. And sometimes when you come home, and you're freaking exhausted, and you have to get up super early the next morning, that's always the night when the player will be on his bed making out with some chick. Always. Then you got the workaholics who you never see because they're always at work. They're just obsessed with making money all the time so they can buy useless things like popcorn machines, chocolate fountains, hot dog toasters. Who needs a hot dog toaster? They always eat out because they have money. They always buy things that nobody needs because they have money. They think they're so cool. And they are, because they have money. In every apartment that I've been in also, there's always been some kind of father figure. He's usually the guy that was living there before all of you move in. He's like, when you show up on move-in day, he's the guy who tells you the Wi-Fi password, all the cupboards that aren't taken, and then of course he offers you all of his utilities, including the Netflix, his milk, and his toilet paper. And he's usually a pretty good guy. And I always make friends with the father guy. And then you got the cave dwellers. Now the cave dwellers are an interesting bunch of folk. I don't know if I like cave dwellers or not, because they kind of creep me out, but at the same time I don't ever have to deal with them. They just live in their room. They're like the Klopeks on the Burbs. You know, Taylor, no one ever even sees him. No one comes in, no one comes out. What do you suppose he's eating in there? Human flesh. You're being ridiculous. I've never even heard him go to the bathroom either. Okay, I've heard him go to the bathroom at least once. Look, if you're so sure that he's not worshipping the devil in there, why don't you go talk to him? What? Why do I have to talk to him? Because you're his roommate. Yeah, so are all the other guys here. Yeah, but you share a bathroom with him. It doesn't count if he's only used the bathroom once. Just go knock on his door. No, why don't you go knock on his door? You. You infinity. Ugh. You know what? Fine. I will. Do it. Fine. Go then. I'm gone. Okay, so that didn't actually happen, but this one did. This is a true story. This happened the other day. Taylor, what are you doing? Shh! Listen! What exactly am I supposed to be listening to?
He's listening to Muse. And I think he's singing along.
Taylor! This is the most we've ever heard from his vocal cords. I'm confused. What's going on? I have to use the bathroom. And he's out there with his bedroom door open. I remain confused. Obviously, if I go out there, I run the risk of running into him, which spells disaster for everybody. How? Taylor! Do you want me to be a human sacrifice for Oscar's morning ritual? This is absurd. You know what, Taylor? Why don't you rustle me up some sympathy? This is almost as bad as that year at scout camp when the other boys locked our tent zippers together. Taylor, you've known this guy for a month. He's not going to sacrifice you. He sacrifices goats. Shh. Listen. I think he's gone, Taylor. I think he's gone. Finally. Yeah, that was a true story. Okay, and then you have my least favorite of all the roommates. I've never dealt with a thief who steals my electronics. I have had my clothes stolen, my dishes stolen, and most importantly, I've had my food stolen. Always. There's always somebody who steals your food. There's an unspoken rule, unwritten, unsigned constitution that says that if you bought it, it's yours. And if you didn't buy it, don't touch or you die. That should be a given everywhere you go. Except for those weird people who live the law of consecration. But as far as I know, it's not instituted yet. I don't live it. I will accept it when it comes, but I do not live it now. In the past 6 weeks, I have lost to the thief half a dozen eggs, half a loaf of bread, a single solitary frozen burrito. My cup noodles? Who does that? Cup noodles are like 35 cents. Stealing my cup noodles. My spicy chicken cup noodles. My peanut butter. Heaven knows, if you steal my peanut butter, you will not survive the night. And perhaps most tragically of all, this! You see this? Do you see this? It clearly has Anthony's handwriting across the top of it that says Taylor's milk. And there's even an apostrophe that says it's possessive, okay? But without fail, there's always people drinking my milk. That's the only means that I have to eat my marshmallow mateys. That is a cherished moment every single night. The last time I saw this gallon of milk, it was up here. Up here? Ha! What is that? Look at that. What? That's not. You can't even do anything with that. It's like they just left a tiny drop in there to say, I didn't steal anything. You just drank all of it except a tiny teaspoon of milk. That is false. I do not drink everything but a teaspoon. You do. Because you're a thief and a robber. And I'll slay you. Ha! I'm calm. Okay. In fact, it's been getting so bad. It's not just me. It's been getting so bad. We've had these letters popping up. Like this one, and this one. Okay? I'm not the only one dealing with this problem. There's a thief in this apartment, and he's stealing from everybody. And I don't care, okay? If you're starving and you're poor and you don't have anything to eat, come talk to me. 9 times out of 10, I will give it to you and let you have it. But if you steal from me, I will find you. And I will kill you. Okay, not really. I just really like that line from Taken. I never actually killed anyone for stealing from me. But I did get very upset and I did throw a spoon once. It happened. Okay? I'm not proud of it, but it happened. In fact, in one of my apartments, I had a roommate who was my roommate who I shared the room with. He was the thief. Didn't even try to cover it up. It was insulting. Not only was he stealing from me, but he's insulting my intelligence by thinking that I wasn't gonna find out. You just leave my bag of chips open to get stale. You do the same thing with my peanut butter and jam. My peanut butter and jam. You will not survive the night. Now you have to imagine all these roommates just stuck in this little space together for a really long time. If you'll notice anything about this list that I just ran through, most of them had one thing in common, and that is that they spend very little time together. In fact, the most social of all of them is the couch potato, because everyone has to walk past him if they want to leave. And because of that, nobody ever communicates. There's none of this, okay? It's all just passive aggression. It's things like these notes. You just get a bunch of passive aggressive people passive aggressively threatening each other, cussing each other out. I feel like there should be a moral to this, or a lesson to be learned. Because I don't know what the moral is. I don't know what the lesson to be learned is. All I know is the more time I spend with roommates, the less and less I like people. So if you learned anything, and if you actually stayed to the end of this video, why don't you leave the lesson that you learned in the comments? Then I can tell who's actually watching the entire video, and is actually gleaning anything from it. If I have any wisdom to offer at all, put it down there. Anyway, hope you learned something. Peace out!